r/ProRevenge.
The keys are in that box. First off, I would like to say this is my father's revenge and not mine. But it was one of his best. A little backstory to get you caught up. My father was a welder at a pulp and paper mill on maintenance with a union. There were around 500 people who worked here at the time. Mid to late 80s, on my dad's crew there was a man they called Squirrel because he would take anything small enough to carry and take it home. Some of the things were specialized tools made for a certain machine, and they would have to be ordered in again at the company's expense. I guess there wasn't much the mill could do because somehow the union backed him. It wasn't long before my father's tools started going missing. He knew where to look and found them in Squirrel's toolbox and some scattered on his workbench. Squirrel was an average-sized man. Around 5 feet 9 inches to 5 feet 10 inches, but my father was a huge man standing at 6 feet 5 inches and around 250 pounds, so Squirrel didn't say a word. He was too scared to. My father reported this to the union rep and the main office and was told they will investigate. Squirrel was given a 1-week paid suspension while the investigation went on. They found many of the missing things in his locker, lunchbox, toolbox, etc. Somehow he got the union to back him again and is allowed to come back to work at the end of his suspension. My father grabbed his mobile welder and went into Squirrel's area and welded together a giant metal box. He took everything he could identify as Squirrel's and put it in the box and welded a top on it. He said he used 5/8 stainless to make it out of. He then got the help of one of his work buddies to lift the box, and Dad welded it to the bottom of the I-beam on the ceiling. About 20 feet in the air. The day Squirrel came back, he was looking for all his things but couldn't find it at all. He asked everyone he could, but no one said a word except, "I take care of my tools. Maybe you should take better care of yours." This went on for a couple of hours until Squirrel went into the main office to complain, saying someone stole everything of his. The shop steward and Squirrel walked into the maintenance shop to ask the people in there where his things were. Dad stood up and walked up close, and knowing him, he was towering over Squirrel, and said something along the lines of, "Squirrels like to climb to store their stuff. Are you sure you didn't climb the I-beam and put your stuff up there?" I guess the look of "oh fuck" on the shop steward's face was almost too good, but the look of pure horror on Squirrel's face was my dad's favorite part of this story. He would laugh just as hard at every telling when he got to this part. Squirrel went into his work area and looked up. He saw the box up there. He tried to get anyone's help to get it down, but everyone seemed to have important things to do and can't at the moment. Squirrel took a day and a half working alone to get his things from the box and to remove the box from where it was welded. My father said not a thing ever went missing again, and Squirrel worked there another 10 years or more until the mill was shut down. I can say I believe him because one night staying at his place I got drunk and was thinking about going home. He went to the basement and made a little box and welded my keys in it. I got them back the next day. I miss my father and his stories. I hope this qualifies as pro.
A response to the post.
Nice story. My favorite bit. He went to the basement and made a little box and welded my keys in it. Your dad sounds like he was a fun guy.
OP's response to this comment.
He had a great sense of humor. Mostly dark but usually funny.
A response to the post.
This isn't pro revenge. This is tradesman revenge, which is pro but with skill and finesse. Your dad is awesome.
A response to this comment.
As the daughter of a machinist, I would devour a subreddit of tradesman stories. Are there any out there?
A response to the post.
Greater than I can say I believe him because one night staying at his place I got drunk and was thinking about going home. He went to the basement and made a little box and welded my keys in it. You, Imago who? Dad, you're too drunk to drive. You, I'm f5 Hey, where am keys? Dad, they're in that box. You, phew come on, Dad, I'm too doctoring to use angel girder. Dad, if you're too drunk to use an angle grinder, you're too drunk to drive. I'll get some blankets and you can sleep on the couch. You, the next morning. Thanks, Dad.